Hey y'all, welcome back to another cooking video. So I'm in a hurry. I'm gonna throw these together really quickly. We're just making some biscuits and sausage gravy. This is really fast, this is really easy. So here we go. I've got 2 cups of flour in this bowl, a tablespoon of baking powder, about 3/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of sugar. Now, I normally mix that together and add about 3/4 to 1 cup of half and half or heavy cream. I usually have half and half, but I'm out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut in some shortening. It's just Crisco. I'm gonna cut in some Crisco. And I'm gonna do about a 1/4 cup, because all I have is whole milk, and I think that'll be fine, but it just needs more fat. You know, heavy cream and half have more fat than whole milk. So I'm just gonna cut this in, and I'm showing you how to do this so you can see how easy that is. It's not hard. You just, if you have a pastry cutter, it's even easier. And I have my grandmother's pastry cutter somewhere, just don't know where. So we're gonna use a fork, and you just want it to be crumbly. You want to cut the Crisco in so that it's distributed pretty well, and it's just, you can feel it. It's like, can you see how whenever I stick it together it kind of clumps because the Crisco is cut in. Okay. I also have my oven preheating to 425, and I'm gonna throw this pie plate with about 2 tablespoons of butter in there for a couple of minutes to melt the butter. And we're gonna add some milk. I should probably measure this. It's probably gonna be about 3/4 to 1 cup of milk. Just depends how dry where you are, how dry it is where you are. If it's raining, who knows? It's always different. And if you add too much milk, add a little more flour. It's fine. It's fine. Once you do it a few times, you know how the biscuit dough is supposed to look, and you'll know if you need more flour or more milk. Okay, so that came together really, really nicely. It's exactly what you want. See how whenever I stir this, it's just all in a ball. It all just came together. That's perfect. Okay, that's what we want. It's a little bit wet. I always add a little too much. Milk. Okay, so we don't want to overwork our dough. Just like with pie crust, you know, every time you work it, rolling it out, whatnot, messing with it, it just makes it tough. So that's not what we want. We want a soft, tender biscuit. So we want to fold this over a few times, but we're not trying to overwork it. Came together, and now we just want to get some layers in it. Press it out. You could flour your surface and like roll it out and make it pretty, but I don't care to roll out and cut round biscuits. That's not for me. That's such a waste, because you always have leftovers, and then you have to re-roll it, and that's what makes them tough. So let me grab this plate. Yep. All melted. So don't forget about your butter. Don't let it burn while the oven's preheating. You don't want to leave it in there a long time. See that? Now there's a good layer of butter. Okay. So I kind of shape them so they're a little bit rounder. And that's it. Put them in the butter. Don't want to, you're not trying to like squish them. You don't want to work them too much. I'm just kind of pressing the ends in so they're a little prettier and a little more round. That's all. I'm not doing a whole lot here. Okay. These don't need to be perfect. Homemade is never perfect, but they're delicious. And you could make 8 biscuits, you could make 6 biscuits, doesn't matter. It's gonna fit perfectly in the pie plate, just like so. Okay. 425, about 18 minutes. Throw those in the oven. Now we're gonna get, oh, perfect. Okay, now we're gonna get started, and it's always exactly 18 minutes for me. Now we're gonna get started on the sausage gravy. All right, guys, so like I said, this is super fast, super easy, even though we're making it all homemade and from scratch. I threw the biscuits in the oven. Put about a 1/4 pound of sausage in here. It doesn't take much. That's what I like about this. You can really stretch your sausage this way. It's really just for flavor. It's not, you can put more if you like more, but I like just a little. So our biscuits have about 10 more minutes. We got this browned up, and now we're going to start to make the gravy. And I feel like a lot of people are intimidated to make like homemade gravy. It is the easiest thing in the world, y'all. And once you know how to make this, it's the base for so many sauces, chicken and dumplings, chicken pot pie. Those are some of my kids' faves. And you just make a simple roux. Okay. And I did add, to kind of get this going, I did add a little bit of bacon grease. And so to make the gravy, you just want to add about equal parts oil to flour, whether that's bacon grease, butter, sausage grease. You can use any of those to make your gravy. The sausage it gives it really, really good flavor. I really like doing the sausage gravy. So I'm just going to add a little bit of flour. And there's roughly 2 tablespoons oil to 2 tablespoons flour, but if you have less oil, you're going to use less flour, obviously. And if you need to add some bacon grease because you don't have much grease, do that, or add some butter. But you just want to add a little bit of flour, and see, it gets kind of thick. I wish it was closer. See how it gets kind of thick? I don't know if you can do. That was about a tablespoon, and I'm going to add another half. But they were heaping, so it really is probably closer to 2 tablespoons that I added. See how the flour has soaked up all that grease? It looks like there's like really not much grease. You just want to cook it. This is very important. You want to let this cook for a few minutes because you're cooking that raw flour taste out. It'll be gross if you don't really cook the flour for a few minutes. And this didn't have tons of grease, so I'm adding just a little bit of bacon grease. That's a tip. You know, finish a jar of pickles, whatever, some jelly, some jam. Wash the glass jar, and the next time you make bacon, pour that grease in that glass jar. You can keep it by your stove if you strain it. If you don't strain it, probably want to keep it in your fridge. But it lasts a long time. You can smell it if it's bad. You can use it for anything, just like this. I need a little more grease. Just add that bacon grease you saved. See my jar? So be patient. Cook it a couple minutes. And now, when you're ready, when that's cooked, you're just going to add milk. And that's how you make your cream gravy. And about a teaspoon of salt and then pepper to your taste. That's the other very, very important part. You have to season it with salt and pepper. If you don't, I mean, it's just flour and milk, you know, just thickened flour. It's going to be gross. It needs salt and pepper. And this will be the best gravy you've ever had. Okay, this is cooked a couple minutes. And I don't really measure because you just go by how it looks. You're gonna use at least a cup, probably close to 2. But that's what's good about this. You can use less and make less. See how thick that got already? See how thick? Now, when you add a little at a time, it doesn't get gross and lumpy. That's how I like to do it. And I'm never turning the heat up. When you add a little at a time, it also helps it come up to temperature faster. See how thick that is? It's so thick. And if you like it thinner, add more milk. If you like it thicker, add less. Or in the beginning, use more flour. I think that's just right for me. This will thicken. I'm going to leave the heat on for a few minutes. And just let this warm through. I'm just going to let this chill. The biscuits are almost ready. I'll be back. Hey guys. Okay, so our gravy has thickened up nicely. It's just right. And the timer just went off, so we're going to pull these biscuits out. They look pretty good, huh? They soak up all that butter. Now, if you want to be super extra over the top, you can take some butter and like brush it on, but it's really, I mean, you don't really need to, but you can. So we'll set this here. And all we have left to do to our gravy, we just need to add salt. Don't be afraid to add salt. That's what makes it taste good. Salt and pepper. And I'm going to add just a splash more milk to get it out. Like I said, I turned the heat off a few minutes ago. But cast iron stays super hot. And like I said, it continues to thicken. Oh my goodness, look how good that looks. So what I like about baking the biscuits like this is they just pull right apart. See that, how it just pulled right out? Oh my god, these are so hot. Oh, so hot. They just pull right out. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Baked in that butter. And you can see like the layers because of how we folded it over. We didn't mess with it too much. Yum. Oh my goodness, it's so hot. It's burning hot, y'all. Okay. The gravy is just right. There you go. Good old Southern biscuits and gravy. Doesn't look pretty, but it tastes so good. My kids are gonna gobble this up. Yum, yum. Alright guys, so that's it. So easy. It takes like 20 minutes to throw this together. I hope you give it a try. I will type out the recipe below. Like this video if you liked it. Leave a comment and let me know if you try it, and I'll see you next time.